Welcome to this presentation part 1 on unit 5 of subject basic power electronics. Chapter is industrial applications of power electronic devices. Myself Sanjit Kumar Singh, lecturer in electronics and telecommunication department at Praveen Patil College of Diploma Engineering and Technology, Bandar East. So this unit has been allocated 10 marks with 6 hours of lecture, and there are 6 topics in it, out of which first 3 will be covered in this presentation and the remaining 3 will be covered in the second presentation. Unit outcomes after going through this presentation: what is expected of a learner is to identify and use power electronic devices in the given industrial circuit, and secondly, describe the performance of the given industrial control circuit. So let's have the first topic, that is light dimmer circuit using diode, track and diode. Both these two, diode and track, are bidirectional devices that can conduct current in forward bias as well as reverse bias, that is for the positive half as well as for the negative half cycle of the AC supply. In order to provide the gating pulse, this diode is used. Bidirectional gating pulse will be provided and it turns on, and the diode is turned on by the voltage across capacitor when this capacitor is having a voltage greater than the breakover voltage of the diode in the forward bias or in the reverse bias condition. The diode is turned on, and moment it turns on, it provides the gating pulse to the track and current will flow through the lamp. Potentiometer is used to limit the current to the charging of this capacitor, or we can use a small resistor, fixed value resistor here, to ensure that this pot is not short circuited. So longer the track conducts, brighter will be the lamp glow as more output voltage is available to the lamp as compared to when it is conducting for shorter duration. Now question may arise how the power device looks like, and how can we control the fan or a motor with the help of a power device. So here we have the power device images, some of the that is SCR and track, the diode that is used to provide the triggering pulse for the track, bidirectional pulses. These are the different packages of the SCR and track respectively. A similar circuit could be fan regulator circuit using diode, track, where the lamp is replaced with either a fan or a motor. Here we can see there is a fixed resistor of 10 kilo, that is to ensure that the R2 is not short circuited. Whenever we start, make sure this R2 is in its maximum position and no triggering pulse is getting applied to the track, hence it is in the cutoff mode. Now when we turn on the power supply, then we must observe that the fan is not rotating, it must be at standstill, or the motor is at standstill in off state. Now when we vary R2, slowly the capacitor gets charged at the time constant determined by R1, R2 and the C1 value, and track turns on for both the positive half and the negative half cycle whenever the breakover voltage of the diode is reached due to the voltage across capacitor. And due to bidirectional control capability of track and diode, firing angle is controlled in both half peaks of the input current. If load exceeds 200 watt, if this fan rating or motor rating is of more than 200 watt, then we can use track other than BT136. So that was fan regulator. Now second topic is battery charger using SCR. So the circuit consists of a single phase supply of 230 volt. Then there is single phase center tape transformer that steps down the 230 volt to 15 volt. Then there is diode D1 and D2 that forms the full wave M2 configuration or rectifier circuit, converting the AC into pulsating DC. Then there is 12 volt Zener diode that ensures that the C point is at a constant 12 volt, and R1 and R2 are the current limiting resistor. One is for the gating pulse, and R2 is for the charging current of the battery, discharge battery. Here 12 volt battery is connected. There is the main device, power device track 1, that controls the charging current. Now let's see how it is working. So as I stated, 230 volt is AC is brought down to 15 volt level with the help of center tape transformer, and using diode D1 and D2 in the full wave M2 configuration, it is converted to pulsating DC. The upper one is conducting for the positive half cycle of the supply, and lower D2 is conducting for the negative half supply. So we get a rectified output for both positive and for the negative half, and A point is always positive with respect to B point. Now this rectified voltage is applied to the SCR here, as well as to the R1 and Zener diode, but Zener diode makes 12 volt constant C point at 12 volt, and current will flow through diode D3 whenever the battery is in discharge state. That ensures that the cathode of the SCR is at a lower potential than the anode here. So the charging current will be flowing whenever this diode is forward biased and provides the gating pulse, turning on the thyristor T1 here. And when the voltage across this battery develops and becomes equal to 12 volt, then the gate cathode circuit is no more biased, and there won't be IC current flowing, and the T1 is in off state, it is turned on to off state, and therefore no more charging current will be going through. So this is how it is operated. Then third topic here is temperature controller using SCR. In this circuit, what are the components used? Here we have the diodes D1, D2, D3 and D4 forming a bridge rectifier, full wave bridge rectifier, with the SCR connected between the 2 points here, the main controlling device. Then there is a heater, temperature of which has to be controlled. R1, R2, R1 and C1, these are the external components connected, and mercury in glass thermostat is there. How it is working? So diode bridge is connected to the AC supply through the heater. The rectified full wave rectified output voltage is available to the SCR thyristor here T1, and when the thermostat is in open circuit due to low temperature, so here mercury level is down here, so these two wires are not short circuited, so therefore it is open circuited, and hence the voltage across capacitor is providing the triggering pulse for both the positive half and the negative half cycle, and the T1 is turned on for both positive and negative half cycle of the input, and current flows through the heater, and the temperature of it goes on increasing, and as the temperature, due to increasing temperature, mercury level in the thermometer increases to this level where it short circuits the two wires, one coming from the resistor 1 and the other end of the capacitor. That means it will short circuit the capacitor C1, and therefore it will not, the capacitor will no longer provide the getting pulse to the SCR, and it is in off state, and therefore no current conduction will take place through the SCR, and it is turned off. So this is how it is controlling the temperature of a heater. So in this presentation, what we learned, the light dimmer circuit as well as the fan regulator circuit or motor speed regulator circuit using Diactrac Duo. Then we saw the battery charger where we used for 12 volt discharge battery. SCR is used for charging from the AC supply, and the thirdly, temperature controller using SCR we saw in this presentation. These are the references for further reading. Thank you. In our next presentation, we'll see the emergency lighting system, UPS and SMPS. Thank you very much.